Hey guys, while I was making a video, I got an idea for another video that I should have done a long time ago, but when I got this controller, I didn't have a YouTube. And when I was looking at this, first of all, I started thinking that the handle reminded me of another controller. It didn't feel like a regular GameCube controller that's a little bit thicker. But then I remember thinking about this controller that had the same problem, but this one is licensed by Nintendo. I think it's an official Nintendo thing because it came in an official Nintendo box. But then I started to realize something. These have the exact same mold. Sorry, as I'm plugging it from the controller because I was testing it to make sure it still worked because I was fixing it because one of these buttons was sticking in. But look, the exact same mold, I think. If not, it's a very similar mold. It seems like this home button is the starting one. They just added a little bit more to it. It's a very similar mold. The wings, I guess they're called, is a little bit thick, just like this one. That's what made me think of it. Only thing is, it has different analog sticks. The buttons are different. I think the button might be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, a little bit what. And the only thing is, this one's crap. This one's okay. This one's okay. Depends on, like, I know it's two completely different things. One's an actual controller, and one, let me plug it in, hooks into a Wiimote. But I got the controller for around, I think around $20 to $30, and sorry, forgot to spit my gum out before making this video. I hate to chew on camera, but I forgot to spit it out. I'm sorry to upset you. But this, I got it. I forgot to bring the game over here. But when I got my Wii U, I didn't have a Wii yet because I used to have one Wii a long time ago. But that Wii I had for a long time, and it was actually scratching on my games, I think. So I got rid of it because I kept on getting this one game that I really loved, and it kept on scratching up. And I love having the original Wii for it because you can plug in GameCube controllers because it has GameCube support on it. I'd rather use a GameCube controller than a classic controller. That game that I'm talking about is Mortal Kombat Armageddon. It came out on Xbox, PS2, and of course the Wii. But to me, the Wii version is always the best because it had a survival mode, but that's beyond the point. And I always loved the GameCube controller for it. Actually, it's the first time I ever used a GameCube controller because I was kind of little at the time when I first started playing this game, and I was able to play it all the way up to. I really like that game. I can play it a million times. And so long story short, like just a little side thing, I started playing that game when I was in 4th grade. I picked it up again when I was in the 7th grade. And that's when I started playing again. I think it's a little bit younger than 4th grade, but that's beside the point. I really miss having a controller for it, but of course the Wii U, you couldn't plug in a GameCube controller. I'm not sure if they. By the way, anybody out there that's tested it, that only had one of the GameCube adapters, I really wish that you'd get one of the GameCube adapters that they came out especially for the Wii, plug it into the Wii, and then see if you can play a GameCube supported game with the GameCube controller on it. I'm just kind of curious about it, but whatever. But I got this because I found out that those games that like the Mortal Kombat Armageddon that kept on getting scratched up can play in the Wii U because it plays scratched games, which is amazing. But only thing is, I didn't have a controller for it. There's no way. Like, of course, I can't use a pro controller, even though I didn't have one at the time, but I couldn't use that. I couldn't use the gamepad, which really sucked because I think that would be amazing if there's somehow to do that. But then I went to the store and they had this fairly cheap. I think it was like $20 to $30 maybe. I think it was around $20 because I don't think I would have paid $30. But first of all, I told you I really like the GameCube controller, and this can plug in through the thing and it looks like a GameCube controller. Only gripe I have about it. Do you know how the Wii controllers come in official boxes? They come in boxes that look official. This, like the Wii motes and all that, this came in one of those. Like, a pretty official looking box. But this isn't an actual GameCube controller. You might actually see this, but yes, I pulled it up on my phone. This is modeled after the mold of the original GameCube controller. Yes, sorry, not prepared. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's not the right control. Sorry, I came unprepared. I was doing stuff after this. Okay, see, it's modeled after the GameCube controller. This is the official one. I don't have one right now, and it's modeled after this. But look how different these are, and one is actually licensed by Nintendo. Like, I'm not saying that's bad, but it's really weird. And second of all, this has no vibration in it, and I certainly have really expected it. I think it'd be cool if they could add it, but I certainly expected it for that. And it's extremely light. Like, it feels really cheap. Like, I'm not saying it feels bad, but it feels really, really, really cheap. Even for me, when I'm not one of those people that get all into it. But it feels, see, first of all, one thing that irritates me is it has the kind of analog triggers, but it doesn't use analog triggers. It only has on and off. But they tried to do it for the GameCube one. But I really don't think they should do that, because these springs in here feels really cheap. Everything on this controller feels really cheap. It doesn't feel terrible. I still play Mortal Kombat Armageddon with it. Just, I told you the Wii version is my favorite version if you can play with the GameCube controller. I bought an Xbox just because I hated this so bad. But I just want to give my reviews on it. It looks really pretty, but it's really cheap. The plastic feels really cheap. It has a glossy plastic on here that feels worse than the Wii U Pro controller. I just kind of want to give my review on this. Like, of course, I think like they had Mario and all this. I think it'd be cool if you collected these. But tell me in the comments below, would you want one of these? Like, would you want one of these even for looks? I think for looks you can probably find something better. It looks nice as a Zelda theme and everything, but just not my cup of tea. It feels really cheap. If you see this and you think it's going to be as good as the GameCube controller, don't. This feels a lot worse than the GameCube controller in every way. It feels cheap. It is cheap. It plugs into a Wiimote. Of course, that's why I got it, but I think there's better options out there. Just get a classic controller if you're going to pick up this, because it's basically the same thing. And it doesn't even look like a GameCube controller. It looks like a GameStop third-party controller. But that's besides the point. I don't want to make this video overly long. I don't recommend this. If you like this video, drop me a like. I kind of like doing controller reviews. Next, I might do this one. I told, if you've seen one of my past videos, you know how I feel about this. I compared another controller to it. But yeah, if you watch that video, great. If you haven't, then go watch it. And tell me in the comments if you want to see me do that. Well, thanks guys. Don't buy this controller. If you find it for $10, buy it. If you find it for $20, don't buy it, because it's not worth $20. See you later, guys.